with you, Matt, and before I'd seen it in person, I didn't really know what to think of the Finn Balor thing in NXT. But then I remember watching it Takeover with you in person. I was like, I was sold on it. I was like, yes, I really want to get behind him. He looks cool. You know, the way he was doing it, like in the ring, he was kind of like doing what he was doing in Japan. But the WWE, they don't know what to do with this character. I mean, they have no idea what it is. And yeah, it might have worked in Japan and they probably treated it with some respect. But this is, I get the feeling now, Matt, that if Finn Balor comes out in paint all the time, he's going to be, it's not going to be long until we start referring to him like Gold Dust. I mean, it's going to get silly. And I don't know. I used to think this is a main event if he's the Demon, but seeing it last night, it was a bit like when he came out against Baron Corbin at SummerSlam. I was just like, why would he come out for that but not the title match? Why didn't he come out as the Demon Finn Balor against Brock? It makes zero sense. He likes the Intercontinental belt more than the title, obviously, but yeah, just under 4 minutes here, in fact. Another quick match. I knew it probably would be Finn winning. I knew he'd have most of the stuff in, but it wasn't. It certainly didn't get me pumped. Like, I think they thought, oh, this will get everybody really into it. But I tell you, this crowd was flat when this come on, Matt. I was quite shocked, and it's a bit worrying for Finn Balor here, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of waited for it to get dark for the actual entrance to have maximum effect, but it didn't, because they didn't do anything special. They just said, oh, paint yourself up and then send yourself out. At least in the NXT days, every entrance was kind of different. You had the whole Texas Chainsaw thing, and you had the whole thing where there's multiple demons. What they need for something like this, especially at WrestleMania, is they need a Triple H kind of caliber entrance. If they really want to make something of the character and they really want to use it like it should be used, that's what it is. It's theatric. The music itself is very dramatic, you know. There is that's what it's all geared towards. I'm sure Triple H understands this because he was a big influence in NXT, and that's where he had some of the best entrances and some of the best uses of the Demon character, whereas now it's pretty much non-existent. It must just be something to do with the transition of coming onto the main roster, which it doesn't bode well. I mean, at least the Finn Balor, the guy, actually is liked by management and seems to be actually being used to a sort of intercontinental standard where he's more than that, really. But, you know, like we said before, there's only so much room at the top, and right now it's not really where they see him. But in this match, you know, it's a very short amount of time to actually give it a decent standard, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I give this just a 1 star for me. Terrible, because even though it's a short match, it could have been so much better, but man, the reaction was not there for it, and I was just overdoing it all the time. And I've seen this match. Sorry to cut in there, Matt, but I've seen this match about 3 or 4 times, and I know he's the Demon now, but like I just really wasn't feeling. I'm like, why does he need to be the Demon here? Like, I've seen it as Brock Lesnar. It just, I don't know. I just didn't like it. It was very forced for me. But what do you sum this up at, Matt?
I'm on the same page there. I feel like you're right. We've seen this match so many times. It really wasn't that much different from the previous times, except for the fact that it was shorter and made to be more believable that Finn could be dominant only because he was the Demon. You know, it's the only reason we're supposed to believe he can actually win this time. And for me, you know, way too short. 1.5 stars for me.
Fair enough. This is ridiculous. So, Alexa Bliss has 3 segments as the host. I mean, what a waste of her time, by the way. I mean, talented person like her, and I really rate her recently as well. But, like, what a terrible couple of things she did. She called out Hogan, clicking her fingers, and then done the segment backstage with those 2 Saturday Night guys. And then this comes on. I mean, Matt, you know, at this point we're running over. You know, time is of the essence. What the hell? Why even have this on the show, Matt? This dance break thing. What the freaking heck was this about? Awful time to put this on. And dance break. R-Truth comes out. I mean, was this necessary, Matt? I mean, this just is so, I don't know. Is this WrestleMania quality here that we are getting?
Well, you know, R-Truth hadn't had his participation award, so he was wondering when his 2 minutes was going to come up. So someone backstage went, "Go on, get yourself out there, get your little Mania moment, have a little pat on the head." I mean, no disrespect. I mean, it sounds like I am, but I'm not really, because you've got to take these opportunities when they come. It's just WWE are the ones making the mistakes by dishing them out so willingly.
Yeah, that was dreadful. Really embarrassing stuff. I don't know what the hell they were doing. If you know you're running out of time, which they did, I mean, by the end of this, but oh man. And the next thing that comes up that's even worse, even more cringy, Matt. What the hell? That helicopter thing. What in the hell was that? Oh man, I did not enjoy that. That for me, let me just tell you, for any old school fans out there, they would have looked at that and smiled or cried. I don't know which one first. But man, we all know Ric Flair back in the day, the Horseman. They used to do that in the NWA every single night, flying with a helicopter. But they never shot it from inside the bloody thing, and they certainly weren't dressed to wrestle either. They were in suits. Now, of course, WWE go one step further. It's WWE, so you've got to make it even more extreme. We're supposedly believing she's coming in on a helicopter. There's a camera right in front of her on the seat. She's come off the helicopter. She's landed in front of the entrance in her gear, by the way. There's about 2 different angles from cameras. So there's obviously 2 cameras there as she's doing her stuff, putting her robe on. And then she's walking into the entrance and then it just fades off. You don't see anymore. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It was, to me, Matt, it was, I can see it being a great idea on paper, but the way they shot that was totally embarrassing. I did not want to see any more of that, and I'm a huge Charlotte fan, don't get me wrong, and any throwback to the Ric Flair days is normally great with me, but that was dreadful. What did you make of that, Matt?
I don't know, it's interesting that you were so offended by it. I didn't mind it too much, actually. I thought, okay, yeah, we're at the main event now, so they're going to try and pull out all the stops and make it seem like everyone's going to have a spectacularly grand entrance. So I just took it as part of Charlotte's entrance for me. The only thing that I had doubted was whether that was actually on the same night that it was shot.
Yeah, I very much doubt it, but I think that's what took me out of it, the fact that it just shot to black and then we were back in the ring and then that was it. I was like, what? Like, if it had been part of the entrance, if she'd have landed in freaking WrestleMania, I would have been really impressed then, but come on. I don't know how you could have done that, but what they should have done realistically to really make it special is a bit like, you remember, like, big matches, Matt, like Rock and Austin. Through the night, you see them come in. They walk in the entrance. Oh, they've arrived at the arena for their big match. Like boxing matches, they flash backstage to show what they're doing. I don't know why they don't do that for the main events in WrestleMania. Like, you could have had Charlotte coming in off the helicopter, not in a wrestling gear, come on, but like in a proper clothes. You could have had Ronda coming in, I don't know, from a limo, whatever you want to do there, and Becky coming in maybe from how she does, but give them a bit of character, but run it through the night and you build it and build it and build it, not just 2 seconds before the freaking match. I just couldn't believe the timing of it. It was extraordinary, but yeah, I was led to believe that, holding all faults aside, that she just landed. Cutting it close, I'd say. At this point, she must have guessed that it'd go on forever. Didn't want to be there too early. Anyway, getting into the match, Matt, and some good entrances. Becky a little bit underwhelming, I'll say, but of course we had Ronda played in as well into all this. By this point, Matt, I think it was notable in my notes here that they were slightly rushed out, I'll say a little bit here, and I had concerns when I saw the entrances because I thought it does look a bit fast for me, and they're speeding it up for a reason. Now, this main event match, Matt, we've been waiting apparently for 35 years and all the rest of it. We've all heard the hype, triple threat. What did you make of it in the end, Matt, the result of what we got?
You're putting all the pressure on me now to actually...
Yeah.
35 years comes down to this. For me, I knew last year that Charlotte was destined for the main event, and that was going to be Ronda Rousey, and that she was the biggest name women's sport at the moment. So that was going to be the destination, and of course the course was set, and we did end up getting Charlotte and Ronda, but of course Becky had found a way into the match through sheer popularity, which is another one of those things where you give credit for WWE for actually going with the flow and actually going with what's hot with the crowd right now. So that was good. But for me, the actual addition of it becoming a triple threat, I don't know whether that took something away from it a little bit. I mean, WWE always seems to have this mad panic, like the last few weeks before WrestleMania, like, well, we've got these women, it's the first ever women's main event. Is it going to sell? Is it hot enough? Is it bringing the fans in? They're like, well, I don't know. I know, I've got a brilliant idea. Let's put a belt on Charlotte and say it's winner take all, because that would really up the stakes. And I was like, no, if people aren't invested by just having these three women in a triple threat, why do you need to take something from another woman wrestler like Asuka, put it on Charlotte, and just for the sake of making this match better? They seem to do it every year without fail. It reminds me of when they put the belt on Goldberg. I mean, no offense to Goldberg, that was a great moment, but Goldberg is a massive attraction himself. He didn't need a title belt to come into a big match to actually sell it. It was another one of those things where they oversold it, almost overhyped it, and although the first ever women's main event of WrestleMania is a massive achievement, I don't feel like they actually delivered on the hype that they actually they were going into this with.
Yeah, and I'll go back to what Jimbo said on the preview. I think he was absolutely spot on. The WWE, they got round the fans very smartly by sort of having Becky thrown out of the one-on-one match, which everybody wanted to see. Nobody wanted the triple threat, right? Nobody. But of course, when you have Becky out, and then it was made Charlotte and Ronda, how did they do it? Well, they manipulated it so that you wanted a triple threat so Becky could have her match. And that's how they sold it in the end. But before that, nobody wanted Charlotte in the match. They just wanted Becky and Ronda, because we'd already seen Charlotte and Ronda at this point, and we all felt like Becky, she was the one who was coming in with the steam, and Ronda was the chosen one with the equity in, if you like, that she needed to beat. And I do feel like, I think that would have been the better match. That's my personal opinion. And by the way, I am Charlotte's biggest fan. But I can easily say that the one-on-one match would have just been more better as far as the story, as far as the payoff goes, to have Becky versus Ronda, first time ever, in a singles match. And then, you do other things at another time. But at WrestleMania, the first one, I would have preferred a one-on-one. They did go with this. I mean, look, we got what we got in the end. I think in terms of the match, I watched it back again a second time today. And because it's always different sometimes when you watch things live to actually when you can digest it afterwards. And the one thing I'll say is, first of all, the ending of it was atrocious. I mean, out of nowhere sometimes is a great thing, but in this case, reading a lot of articles after, it sounds like they just ran out of time. And I don't know what the original plan was, but apparently Charlotte tapping was basically what it was supposed to be. There's a bit of a botch now because Ronda's shoulder was nowhere near the mat. I don't know if you've seen that video and the clips, but oh God. So it's now up in the air again, and it's like, that's not the story that was supposed to be told. Becky was supposed to go over clearly as the dominant force. She's the new it now, but now you're going to get this sort of thing where, did she really win it? And it was on Ronda and it wasn't Charlotte. All these things, it was just, and I'll say this much, the whole night, really, to have no time left for the main event is unbelievable. I mean, how on earth did they muck that up? I do not know. But they were really running over. This is the longest WrestleMania, by miles. This broke records in terms of time. I didn't think they could do it after, a few years ago, but they have. And I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. They put in so much garbage sometimes during the night, and yet now they have no time for what 35 years in the making, as they keep telling us.